Y2K pastel leopard print. Oh my gosh. In 2026, I really want to focus on moving towards a life that I've envisioned for myself. I feel like for the past couple years, I've just been coasting, and with a bunch of personal things going on in my life, I feel like that is something my body really needed. But I can feel for this new year that my body wants something different. It wants some movement, it wants some change, and I'm not the type of person who is a wake up at 6 a.m., grind and hustle type of person or mindset. And I really believe in slow living and taking your time to do things at your own pace and in a way that brings you joy and fulfillment without burning you out. So this year, I just want to focus on refreshing little parts of my life while still doing hobbies and activities that I still enjoy. And a tradition of mine to start off every single new year is to do a vision board. I will say my vision board this year looks very similar to my vision board last year, and I think that's why I was struggling so much. It's just because my goals are pretty consistent. My wishes and my aspirations are very much in alignment with what I wanted last year. I don't want to go into too much detail because I don't want to bore you, but also because I'm somebody who believes in jinx. I feel like it's like a birthday wish. If I tell others, I fear it may not come true. But what I will say is that this year I journaled my vision board, and that I went through every single picture I had on my vision board and I wrote down why I put that specific picture, and this has been such a game changer. I don't know why I never did this before. It just really helped me cement why I had some of these pictures on my vision board and the real reasoning behind why I wanted to accomplish some of these goals. I feel like when you're making a vision board, at least for me, I can easily get led by aesthetics, and so I feel like it can be like half I want the thing in the picture, but also half I just think the picture is pretty and it'll match the theme of my vision board. But having to journal about it and put down in my own words why I wanted some of these things in my life, I was able to really narrow down what parts of it I wanted, and I realized that it gave me clarity on how I'm going to reach those goals. Another refresh I want to do is make some press-on nail sets. Due to a finger injury, I wasn't able to do my nails for the past couple months, but now it's basically fully healed. And during those few months, there were a couple nail trends that I missed out on that I really want to get around to, specifically two, one being the polka dot trend and the other being this Y2K pastel leopard print. As you saw, I started doing my nails, and this was a couple weeks ago, and for the past year I've been struggling with a broken skin barrier that has caused my skin to flare and react whenever I wear sunscreen or makeup. It would just get really hot, irritated, enlarged pores, inflamed, swollen. It was just super painful. So for that day I wore makeup, and of course my skin flared, and I've been getting treatments done to my skin and using medical grade prescribed skincare, and that's been helping a lot. I haven't had a flare since that last procedure that I showed, but because of all of that I had to take a few weeks to rest and give my skin time to heal. I wasn't able to show my full process of making these press-on nail sets, so I thought I would show you right now. So unfortunately, when I started doing the polka dot set, I kind of knew that I might struggle with it. I feel like the polka dot design is very much a hard design that's disguised as something simple, at least for me. I feel like it's a design that really shows your skill set because you have to get all the dots even and apply it with even pressure with the dotting tool. So I kind of knew that I might fail, and I unfortunately did. Something about the way that I was doing the polka dots just looked so wonky, and it just did not look good. And after watching some tutorials and really thinking about what I did wrong, I think I wasn't spacing them out far enough in terms of like how they were vertically, and I think that's what might have made it look a bit wonky. So I'm definitely going to try again, but because I was kind of rushing through these sets because my skin was very irritated, I just went with a safe route, and this is a set I ended up doing. I just ended up doing French nails with chrome on top and little pink bows. And then the next set that I did was the leopard one, and this turned out a lot better than the polka dot one. I've done leopard before, so I was much more confident in doing this one, and I really love the way that this one turned out. For me, I don't change out my earrings that often. I kind of stick to staple pieces of jewelry, and I would say the specific earrings that I wear, I only change out every few months. And I actually lost my conch piercing while I was taking a shower, so I definitely want to get a new piercing for that. And I want to find some earrings I can stack on my first and second lobe with the current piercing I have in right now. So let's go. I just arrived, and it's really hard to find parking near where the earring place I want to go to is, so I just parked at the nearby mall. And it's actually good I parked here because my sister's birthday is coming up soon, and I need to see if they have a cake that she might like here. But then also they have a Pop Mart vending machine here, and on my sister's birthday wish list she has a few Pop Mart figurines that she wants, so I'm gonna go see if this Pop Mart vending machine has the figurines my sister wants. I'm gonna put on my headphones and start going. so I just got home and I thought I would show you the earring that I got. It's just a normal diamond stud, and for my concha piercing I usually keep it as just a plain simple diamond stud. I feel like anything that comes with changing your appearance, that's kind of like an aesthetic staple, like whether it's cutting your hair, getting a new tattoo, getting a new piercing, changing your piercing. I feel like it allows me to see myself in a new light. I feel like just because I see myself every single day in the mirror, I start to become like a periphery version of myself, if that makes any sense. It's kind of like how they say that we can see our nose, but because it's such a constant in our field of vision, we kind of omit it from our view, and it allows you to kind of get used to who you are every single day, and maybe because of that it stops you from making any changes just because you're kind of on autopilot mode. So I feel like although it doesn't have to be a big change, changing something about my appearance has always helped me kind of jumpstart into trying new things, extending from just what I've aesthetically changed. The last way I want to refresh is by revisiting an old hobby. So one of my favorite hobbies is doing Legos. Please excuse the snoring. My sister's cat is sleeping in my room and he is a very big snorer. So if you hear any snoring, that's going to be him in the back. But building Legos is one of my all-time favorite hobbies, but it's a hobby that I can't do too often because I have limited space in my room. I also don't plan on living in Korea forever. I know some people build their Legos and then disassemble them, but for me personally, I like to build my Legos once and then put them on display. But because I have limited space and I don't plan on living in Korea forever, it's just kind of hard to justify building Legos when I don't have the space, and it's just gonna be really hard to take them back with me. But I saw this Lego at Daiso and I knew I had to get it because it is so representative of my time in Korea, and it's something that I could only get in Korea, and it's a Lego that is a Daiso building, and I thought this was justifiable because this is something I wouldn't be able to get back in the States. I know there's Daiso stores in America, and I don't know if they actually sell this in America. They might, but I'm telling myself that I can only get it here so that I can build it. So I wanted to build it together while also talking about hobbies, and my hobby is refresh for this year. It comes with two bags. One is smaller and one is larger. I'm not sure which one. I actually think I'm supposed to open the big one first because the first couple steps start off with putting it on the lawn. Or maybe that's supposed to be a parking lot. Oh my gosh. There's even a worker in the Daiso uniform. It's so cute. I feel like whether it is finding a new hobby or revisiting old ones is such a great way to refresh. I feel that as I get older, I'm less inclined to be learning new stuff all the time. And to me, hobbies are such a huge part of my life. I feel like it's a good confidence booster to find things that you are passionate about and just to kind of re-liven your spirits, but also as you learn and as you are able to overcome the hurdle of learning something new and then accomplishing whatever new task you're doing, I think is a super rewarding feeling. I feel like hobbies are something that people put on the back burner a lot, and of course there is a lot of privilege that comes with being able to put hobbies as a somewhat priority, but I wanted to include this because I feel like, especially now in today's society when we are so pushed to hustle and grind, although I do feel like slow living is kind of making a comeback just because people are so sick and tired of burning themselves out and constantly trying to chase something other people tell us that we need. Hobbies for me has always been such a good way to express my creativity, but also to feel fulfillment in my life. I think finding something that you're good at or finding something that you enjoy, because hobbies don't only have to be things you're good at. You don't have to be good at a hobby to be able to enjoy it. And I don't know, I don't really know what I'm trying to say. I just know that my hobbies have given me so much purpose in life for years when I've been very lost on what I wanted to do, feeling like my days were just passing by me. To be able to have a hobby and to have projects that you're working on, there's so much feeling of accomplishment that comes from it, and I feel like that's also such a great way to receive dopamine without doom scrolling. I've always had hobbies that really require me to focus. I feel like most hobbies make you hyper focus on the project you're working on. So I would work on my nails for like 9-10 hours. I would build Legos for 6 hours. I would crochet for 5 hours. I'll read for 12 hours. I've done all-nighters where all I did was just straight read, like a whole series. And I feel like there's a lot of fear sometimes when it comes with starting a hobby. There's a lot of questions like, would I be good at it? Or is this something that I'm going to dedicate myself to? But as an avid hobby collector, I will say I have so many hobbies that I've started and stopped within like the week, but I have always come back to. For me personally, I believe if you have an inkling for something, there's a reason your person is calling for it. And even though kind of lose interest within the first week, there's such a high likely chance of you always coming back to it. So whenever I have a curiosity towards a new hobby, I always just go for it, because even if I feel like it's not for me right now, I trust that me as a person wanted to explore this creative outlet for a reason. And if it's not right now, that I'll definitely come back to it at some other time. It's just simply not for me right now. And there might be so much hidden joy in starting this hobby, whether that's creating a space where you can be creative or possibly finding a community of like-minded people. That hobby might lead into another hobby, and maybe even rediscovering some parts of yourself that you never knew you had.